Okay, so welcome everybody to this session of the AI Week. One aspect of this session will be an introduction to the activity that we do here in Tel-Aviv University within the Center of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. And since the session is focused later on health and biomed, I will elaborate some how this kind of research and activity is done within our center. So let me talk a little bit about the center. Actually, this center inaugurated about a year ago. And within this year, we really had a lot of progress. Currently, it's a multidisciplinary center, which spans across all campus in Tel-Aviv University, all faculties. It just showed the huge interest that there is for AI and data science in all scientific disciplines and the power of those methods for doing scientific research. We have over 270 researchers affiliated with the center. I'll just note that this is over a quarter of the faculty member in Tel Aviv University. And there are two pillars that we are based in this scientific activity. In Tel Aviv University, we have a strong research teams that deal with core issues of AI and data science, in computer science, in statistics, in engineering. We are all trying to understand the mystery behind deep neural network and why those methods work so well. And this is one effort that we invest in our center. Hopefully, we will get some interesting results. The other pillar is, of course, the many researchers that have data and have domain knowledge, and they would like to combine that with the modern tools of AI and data science to advance their science to the next level. And we are talking about all the faculties in the university, in humanities, art, economics, psychology, etc., as you can see in this nice list. The machinery that we build for this collaboration, we call it the bridge. And this is a team of researchers, data scientists, data engineers that help to bridge together the domain knowledge people and the core people and solve the problem, and indeed use the cutting edge methods for this scientific research. And we start going over the bridge. We already offer some tools and platforms, computational platforms, technical supports, interesting data sets that are now available to many of the researchers in Tel Aviv University, and we hope that it will grow and we will have additional interesting results, especially in the health and biomed area. And all the method and the software will be, as much as possible, will be a public domain and will be open and shared across the Tel Aviv University researcher, but also outside Tel Aviv University. And indeed, we grew up the bridge from last year, and hopefully we will keep advancing it to make it really a shining bridge for this important activity. The center has additional missions that are related to what we are going to see today. We strongly believe in the contribution to society, and the issues of AI in society are really diverse. First, there are, I would say, deep ethical issues. AI, as you can probably read in the papers, can be dangerous sometimes, two-sided sword, but nevertheless, we want to control it and we want to pay attention to issues of ethics, interpretability, responsibility, and so on. We want to strengthen the relations between what's going on in Tel Aviv University and some public agencies, industry. We talk about health and biomed. Of course, there are the resources in Israel of the HMOs, Kupot Cholim, and the hospitals, and the Ministry of Health. but other government agencies, they have the data, they have the knowledge. It's not trivial to share this data to academic researchers, but we put a lot of effort to make it happen. And of course, some relations and collaboration and help to this huge industry, startups and growing companies of AI that exist in Israel. We know personally a few companies, and those companies, both sides can benefit from this collaboration, cooperation. One other thing that we think it's important, I talked all the time about research so far, we also pay attention to education within Tel-Aviv University and somewhat outside. As I said, the mission of bringing AI and data science to everybody is going to start next year, and everybody that hear my talk spread this news. We are going to have, starting next academic year, a unit in AI and data science so that students can learn, let's say, psychology and AI, economy and AI, biology and AI, even some philosophy, some things in humanities and arts, of course in law. And this is, I would say, the first step of really enhancing and building the next generation of researchers and people that work on AI. In our vision for education, we are also now building a highly competitive graduate program centered in AI and data science. And here again, I would say that since this field is so important, and since we still do not understand it well, we need this great people, great students that will later on be graduate student and faculty member to help working and analyzing and researching this mastery. But in addition, we also spread AI knowledge and education in the campus and outside, make sure that any student in Tel-Aviv University will have some basic knowledge in those fields, and also online courses that will be offered to the general public. Okay, let's go to the focus of today's session. I mentioned that we have over 270 researchers, and the way we thought they can work together and really make it efficient and useful is that they will be organized in communities. And as you can see, there are 13 communities here. A faculty member, of course, can be affiliated and associated with a few communities. The biggest community is the fundamental of AI and data science, a very important community related to this big mastery that I just mentioned. But the second largest one, is the community of health and biomedicine. As you can see, there are 80 researchers affiliated with that, and it's growing. It is related to other activities that is done on campus and in those areas. We are in relations with the Safra Center of Bioinformatics and other centers of epidemiology center. And this is the community. It is headed by Noam Shomron, who will talk later in this session. Uri Obolsky, who is working with Daniel Navo, who is talking in this session, and Pablo Blinder. And as you can see, it really brings together scientists in the field of medicine, life science, core AI and data science, and so on. And we also started to make relations and collaboration with industry. They are talking to the community members. And I think that we had some progress, as you can see in a few minutes today, of course, but also some supported research supported by the center in this area. Okay, so let's indeed go to that. Health-related research at TAD started from the beginning. Even before the center was inaugurated, we had some seed funds, and we used those seed funds to go with a call for proposals throughout the campus. And from that call, that around 18 research projects were supported. Third of them, as you can see, is in the area of health and biomed, and it goes from cancer research, antibiotics, all issues of prognosis, and you can see here. Actually, I think that AI in health and biomed is really can influence many aspects of this field. It starts with understanding better the data. Well, one of the major success of AI is in computer vision, and the application for medical is clear how to really understand and analyze medical images, radiology. Machine can do it better than humans, and definitely can do it at a much higher scale than humans. Also dealing with a medical record, personal medicine, really analyzing and understanding and treating people in a different way. And it goes all the way to the development of maybe new medicines and new drugs, really analyzing and understanding diseases based on data and analysis. And you can see that all this spectrum, it shows itself in those supported research projects. You may have heard that Tel-Aviv University also achieved a big grant from the Israeli government. It was a competitive grant between all the universities in Israel, and our proposal really got good reviews and the highest possible support. And in that competitive grant, there was a big space for health-related issues. We are now building an EMR hub in Tel-Aviv University. EMR stands for Electronic Medical Records, which can be used for research and analyzing. And of course, it includes many aspects that I mentioned before of privacy and how to get this data and share it. And we work on both aspects of that. There is also a related project for brain research and brain health. We really want to understand what's going on in this frontier of the brain. There is, of course, some overlap with the Sagol Center in Tel Aviv University, but we focus on the AI aspects and also on the medical aspects. And there are additional, more specific projects that are supported by this grant in really improving the understanding, as you can say, tracking blood vessels in ultra-fast continuous volumetric images to improve the understanding of those images and to really get better results in biopsy. This session is organized together with Google, who also is involved in the Tel Aviv University AI Center with the initiative of AI for Social Good. And now, of course, we focus on AI for social good and health. And again, we issued the call for proposals, and we got many responses associated with social good and helping the society. And out of those proposals, we supported 10 projects. Again, health issues played an important role, and you can see 2 supported research associated with health and health issues in really different, interesting aspects. In these days, you cannot ignore COVID. You cannot ignore understanding and using AI for this project. And the Google initiative included a specific donation for understanding, for doing some useful research in understanding this epidemic. And the research we selected included really to really get a good modeling of this epidemic using advanced statistical method, and this is led by Daniel Nevo, who will talk later on in this session, and Uri Obolsky. Currently, maybe the most exciting issue that we are working on, we allocated funding for what we call high impact projects. And dealing with this call for proposal is now going on. I must say that we plan, although we plan to support with really good funding 1 or 2 projects, we got over 30 applications. We had some initial screening, and now we have about 8 applications. Out of them, health and biomed projects play a shining role. And if I have to guess, at least one of the projects will be in this field. And as I said, it's not just health and biomed per se. There are some related subjects, important activities that the center really pay attention to. Well, I can talk a lot about really diverse activities that we do in the center. I hope you got a glimpse of that. And of course, we are now going to have today a session of people associated with this collaboration with Google and Tel Aviv University. This is the coming sessions. We have some speakers from Tel Aviv University and speakers from Google. And later on today, we will have additional talks in AI for health. So I wish you a really nice day. And it's really great to see how AI, which again, the fundamentals are still not clear, but the power is clear, can really change the world, especially in this important area of health. So I just see really good prospects. First, you will have an interesting day today, and then we are going to have a good research coming out from Tel Aviv University and TAD Center in the coming few years. So thank you very much and welcome for today's meeting.